Hi, my name is Rachel Russo, and I have been a foster parent for about 4 years now, and I've also been using essential oils about the same amount of time. When I first started using essential oils, I was just getting my first placement, and she was 10 months old, and I'll tell you, I just started using them for the physical benefits that they provided. So I was using them for teething and respiratory support and immune support, things like that. I had not dabbled in the world of essential oils for emotional support. If you'll fast forward a few months, I got my second placement, who was a 3-year-old, and that was very different. It changed everything. If you're watching this video, you are likely knee-deep in foster care already, so I don't need to explain to you what I mean when I say the ugliness of trauma was consuming our lives. The anxiety, the anger, the depression, the fear, just all of it was filling our house to the brim with this trauma that I was not fully prepared to deal with. Most of you probably understand what I'm talking about, that feeling that you would do anything to just alleviate the weight and the heaviness that that child is carrying and that has now consumed your home. In those heavy moments, my sister mentioned to me, Rachel, have you considered using your essential oils for emotional support? I know you use them for other things, but have you even tried that? And I hadn't. Can I tell you, that was a major game changer for me. While I already believed in the power of essential oils to support my physical body, my eyes were open to the impact of using essential oils for our emotional wellness. And I want everyone who's bringing these kids from hard places into their home to have this in their toolbox. Now, before I had experienced the physical benefits of using essential oils, I probably would have looked at you like you were a lunatic if you had told me that huffing oils, plant oils from a bottle, was going to help with the very real issues that we were dealing with. But because I'd already had a positive experience, I was willing to try it. Now, if you're a skeptic like I was at first, then you're gonna wanna do your own research and you're gonna wanna see the scientific evidence that this is a real thing, this works. So I'm gonna recommend that you get on PubMed.com and just search for emotional aromatherapy, essential oils and emotions, things like that. There are tons of research articles written, and they've been peer-reviewed by experts in the field, so you can see some real science behind what I'm about to tell you about. As a foster parent, you should have a basic understanding of how trauma works, how the impact of it on the brain, and how different things can trigger different responses. You already know that inhaling certain aromas can trigger the olfactory system to communicate with the limbic system, one thing or another. The limbic system is responsible for your emotions, your behavior, your motivation, your memory, and your learning. It would make sense then that inhaling certain essential oils could produce different feelings or emotions. There are certain essential oils that by inhaling them aromatically, that your body will respond by releasing endorphins to make you feel happier, or serotonin to help with calming down, or even adrenaline, like a stimulant. Another aspect of your training, at least in Texas anyway, is that you annually have to go through your medical consenter and your psychotropic meds training online. Now, every year when I do that, I am reminded that it is my responsibility as the foster parent to make the best decision possible for the child in my home. That training makes it very clear that any type of medication is our last resort and that we should be pursuing all alternative options before we turn to that. Well, I can tell you that having essential oils in my arsenal, in my toolbox, has been a game changer. I no longer feel helpless. I feel empowered that I have something that can actually help these kids, that can provide support to them as they're navigating this healing process and the feelings that they're having. I no longer feel terrified when I know a brand new placement is coming, because I know that I have the tools I need to support them in the transition. Okay, so here are a couple of my go-to essential oil blends that I use for most of my placements. There are so many different combinations of oils that you can put together, and everyone's body chemistry is different. And so a different person might respond differently to different oils. So you might try different things to get the results you're trying to achieve. But what I've seen the most results from have been 3 specific blends that I love. The first one is the Peace blend, which is called doTERRA's Reassuring Blend. This blend, I immediately, when children arrive, you know, you do your first things, right? You're like taking a bath, right? Getting cleaned up, put some fresh jammies on, all those things. They get Peace Rollerball Blend rolled on them. And I continue that every morning and night, and any time that their emotions seem to be overwhelming them. So up to once an hour if needed. You're gonna notice that after a few weeks of settling in, your child's not gonna need those essential oils as frequently as they maybe did at first, because the neural pathways of their brain are already rewiring to help them to regulate themselves. Another blend that I could not live without is Serenity, which is a restful blend. It's a combination of essential oils meant to help you get a good night's sleep. And as we all know, if I'm not sleeping, if my child is not sleeping, emotions are already heightened just from lack of sleep. Forget about all the trauma that's involved as well. I put the Serenity blend in a diffuser, and it's in all the bedrooms, and I turn it on about half an hour before bedtime. So it begins to be another trigger saying, okay, I know what's happening next. When I inhale this aroma, my body starts calming down, and I know rest is coming. It's time to sleep. Finally, Balance blend. It's a grounding blend, and that is a blend that I have used personally, maybe more so than for my kids. You know that secondary trauma is a real thing. And so the heaviness and the weight that those children bring into the home with them, it affects us as well. And I will tell you, I got my bottle of Balance. It's in my purse all the time. And anytime I just start feeling overwhelmed and kind of out of control, like not knowing what's gonna happen, and you know, those anxious feelings start to creep up, I just put 1 drop in my hand, I rub it together, big deep breath, and then I rub it on the back of my neck, on my chest, so that I'm still inhaling that aroma for a little while afterwards. And I can't tell you just how immediately it just brings this sense of just calm. So you need emotional support too. So don't neglect yourself. Think about your own emotional support as well as your kids. It is important that you understand that not all essential oils are created equal. If you go to H-E-B and you buy a $5 bottle of my Calm Baby, and then you say, you know, a couple days later, essential oils don't work, it's because you're not using a high quality, certified pure therapeutic grade essential oil. I will not use any other essential oils besides doTERRA because I trust the quality, I trust the company. They disclose all of their testing so that we can see that they're very transparent in the fact that they only source the best oils where they grow indigenously, they keep them pure, and they deliver them at the highest therapeutic value for us. Do you know that statistics say that 50% of foster families quit within the first year? I believe that that's because they do not have the tools and support that they need in order to be successful and manage the heaviness that comes with this hard work. You are doing the hardest work imaginable, and it very often goes overlooked and underappreciated. But I want you to know that you're not alone. It brings me so much joy and excitement to be able to walk alongside foster families, help them get the tools that they need in their hands to provide support to the kids that are coming. And so please reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's figure out what's going to work best for you and your family. I teach regular classes both in person and online, just helping people feel empowered and educated on how to use these essential oils. So reach out to me. Let's start your journey to emotional wellness for yourself and for your kiddos.